My name is Alyssa Duvall, and I'm the Assistant Branch Manager here at Ascension Parish Library, Dutchtown. In this video, I hope to give you some useful information and fun resources to use as you homeschool your child this year. This video will focus on resources for grades 6 through 8th. Now, these resources are not just useful for homeschooling families. They can be helpful for anyone who is wanting to enhance their child's learning experience or better understand and use new materials to enhance their child's education. I will first show you some tools on the Louisiana Believes website. These tools follow the Common Core State Standards. Therefore, if you're needing a framework for your homeschool experience, you could use these standards. And if you're wanting to stick to the general guidelines for the public schools, this is a good place to start. After that, we'll go to our resources on our Ascension Parish Library's website, www.myapl.org. I hope you find some fun and useful resources in this video. Let's look at some middle school Common Core standards. We're going to go to Teaching and Learning, Louisiana Student Standards, Academic Standards Library. You have the standards right here, but I want to go to Browse by Category, just in case there are some other planning resources you would find helpful. Here you pick which subject you want to go to. And then you have all of the planning resources, including the student standards. I just want to show you what this looks like in general. You do have some things for LEAP on here. You have some remediation guides, so if your student was struggling a little bit the previous year, that may come in handy. Opening the state standards, you can hyperlink click to whichever grade you need, and you'll get the grade level overview, and then you have the different concepts that your student would need to learn for grade 7 if you were wanting to follow the Louisiana standards for your child's education. And it's all right there. So that is how you would access the standards for your child, no matter what grade they are in. Let's start exploring some resources. We will not be covering all of the databases and resources the library has on its website, but we will be focusing on Scholastic and WorldBook and WordPress resources. In order to get to those resources, you have to go to www.myapl.org, and at some point you will have to type in your library card number. Some of these resources are easily accessible on our home page. If you scroll towards the bottom, you will see the Flix series, as I call them, and we will be going over Freedomflix and ScienceFlix in this video. We will also be going over quite a few WorldBook resources. When you click on this icon, it opens up different products, and we will go through some of those today as well. Another way to access these is to go to our Research Databases link. Click on this icon. You will have to type in your library card number to reach this, but this is all of the databases that we have. We will be discussing these 3 later, but you'll notice they're in alphabetical order both on the statewide side and our library's databases. And you can go down here and you'll find alphabetically the different resources. There's ScienceFlix and WorldBook. So these are the different ways you can access what we'll be going over in this video. Let's go back to the home page and get started. Freedomflix is a Scholastic site focusing on history, government, civics. It's really well made for students who are in around 6th to 8th grade. You'll see that it is topical. And you'll also see our trusty resources and tools. This is set up very similar to Freedomflix. Here we'll have our different topics alphabetized, and you'll see the lesson plans, the quizzes, the writing prompts, and if there are any whiteboard activities. Looking at a lesson plan for the ancient Aztecs. It's set up very, very similar to Freedomflix. The lesson plan gives you the grades. This one is appropriate even for elementary grades. You'll see the time, how long the project should last, the materials you'll need, the objectives, and then you have some introductions and some talking points as you're going through the topic with your student. And you click right there and you'll start. You'll have your video, introductory video with closed captions.
The year was 1519. The place, Tenochtitlan, the island capital of the mighty Aztec Empire in what is now Mexico.
Then you can read the book. You do still have the read aloud option, just like Freedomflix did. You also have a glossary to go over all those vocabulary words that maybe your student is not very familiar with. I do like that it has the pronunciation as well. You can skip to a specific page if you'd like. And there we go. This is Scienceflix. Scienceflix is a Scholastic site. It is a very similar layout to Freedomflix and Freedomflix that are other resources from our homepage. I want to first show you our resources and tools. As always, it's best for educators if you can first find those tools. So I want to show you a lesson plan. Their lesson plans are laid out according to the topic, according to the specific topic that the lesson is created for, but you'll also see the category that each lesson falls under. So if we were to go to planets, you'll see here the standards, the next generation science standards. They do look a little bit different than English standards or math standards, but these are the standards. You can either refer back to Louisiana Believes, or honestly, a pretty easy way to do it is to copy and to go and look at the website itself. So this is Next Gen Science, their website, and it goes over the standards. So it gives you explanations of the standards, and it also explains further down the age appropriateness of this particular lesson. So if you're still a little unsure, like, is this my grade? Is this not my grade? This is a good way to look at it as well. But if we go back to the lesson, you'll see that you can have a PDF copy of it. You'll get the time. So how many days or lessons should you project this to be? The materials, you'll get your objectives, and it just keeps on going. You get your academic vocabulary. And that gives you step by step, how would you use this lesson on Scienceflix to teach your child? You'll notice it mentions the video as well. Let's go back up. You can obviously find planets through browsing all topics. But a really easy way, once you found the lesson you want, is to simply click on the picture. Then you'll get the layout. This layout is very similar to Freedomflix and Freedomflix. You have your watch it, your introductory video, you have your reading, you have different links to go to other articles within Scienceflix, you have links to other websites outside of Scholastic, you have your science experiment, you have writing prompts, and you have a quiz. I want to show you the Read It section is a little bit different than Freedomflix in the fact that it's not a book, it's an article. The really great thing about ScienceFlix here, though, is you can change the complexity of the article depending on the grade of your child. So if you have multiple children that you want to have all of them focus on the same topic for now, you want to use the same lesson plan for all of your children. This is one way ScienceFlix can adapt to that, because it can adapt the actual reading to the complexity that your child needs for rigorous learning. And just to show you what a few other parts of it look like. Oh yeah, there was the read aloud option as well for this. But you'll notice different topics. So you can have your report, you can create a table, you can create a poster, you can create a timeline. And like I said, some of these will directly have a science project right here as well. And then a real fun factor is the career section. So if you have a student who's really, really interested in a specific part of science or anything in this website, ScienceFlix and Scholastic has already connected any pertinent careers to that lesson. So that gives your child a way to kind of see, how is this realistic? How is this applicable to your daily life? Like, who does this? These people do this. Another way to get to careers in science is to just, you'll notice that there are other websites that are connected to this to kind of give further research. But if we want to do computer science, you'll get a definition of what that is and what this job would look like. And as always, to get back to the main page, and there are all of your topics to browse. And this is ScienceFlix. Let's look at Worldbook Student. Worldbook Student is of a higher level than Worldbook Kids. I think it's fairly appropriate for middle schoolers. You may find it for other age ranges as well. Let's look at the educator tools first. Now you have the curriculum correlations, you have some graphic organizers, which are always super helpful with education. You have lesson plans, you have sites for other lesson plans, but I want to show you the web quests. Web quests are really fun web-based learning activities. Really, you're able to give the child the quest and they get to look through all of the resources to find the answers. I want to show you Ancient Egypt's web quest. You'll see that there are 9 pages here to complete the web quest, but let's go to Ancient Egypt in Worldbook Student to embark on the quest. If you go to Ancient Egypt, you'll notice there are quite a few different headings within this article. And you'll have the other media as well. This is pictures, this is videos, everything you'll need to create and finish the web quest. So let's look back at it and you can see what it's like. It shows you how to go to it, it shows you how to search for Ancient Egypt, it gives you some questions, and it's going to just go through information on ancient Egyptians. It breaks it down into arts and science, Egyptian government, geography, and it also brings in the videos as well. You'll have a crossword puzzle. Those are always fun. And then you do have the answers, what every teacher wants. To go back to more web quests, click on Worldbook Student, Educator Tools, and you're back to where you started. If you're not wanting to use a web quest, that's fine. You can search for anything you want at all. You'll have articles, their back in time section, different timelines throughout history. You'll have maps, images, tables, other websites, and resource guides. If you were to click on one of these, this is a guide specifically on Mauritania. Lots of different hyperlinks. So this is very similar to World Book Kids, just a different layout, a little bit more for older students. You do have quick links to your maps and atlases, your current events. The media is really fun, all the different pictures and videos and graphics. Here's your 4 educators again, your educator tools, and you're back to your lesson plans. You'll see straight connections to PBS, Library of Congress, and EdCitement. Those are all accessible through World Book Student. Let's go into World Book Discover now. So this was accessible through our home page where you go to World Book at the bottom. Then you hit Discover. There are a lot of things on this website, a lot of information, a lot of topics that are addressed, but I want to show you the Life Skills Center, which I think is a wonderful tool to be teaching your preteen and your teen different practical skills that they will need. As you can see, it goes into working, it goes into eating choices, household chores. We'll click on eating in and eating out. And you'll see that it has different subtopics. And it's laid out fairly similarly to other World Book sites, other World Book resources. You have your read aloud option where you can change the voice. And it gives you all the information of how you would store your food. And you can keep on going through this particular topic, eating in and dining out. And you can go to any of the life skills topics that you would like your student to focus on. Just really good basic information that your child will need to learn. And you can go back to World Book Discover and you can get to the rest of the site as well. You'll notice there's so many wonderful things. There's atlases, timelines, how-tos, and then you do have, if you click on one of these, you'll notice that you have different articles and different abstracts about different places. So this is a very quick introduction into World Book Discover. World Book Dramatic Learning is very fun. If you have a student who's interested in drama, if you're wanting to work on speech with your student, this is a fun place to start. You have a lot of ways to navigate this site. You can look through plays based on grade level, subject, surely based on their title. We have different sorts of activities. Maybe you really want to work on speech, so a monologue is really what you're looking for. But I want to look at the lesson plans and the assessment rubric here. Let's click on that real quick. So this is something that you can use, it's already created for you, in grading your child as you work through the particular drama of your choice. And you'll see you have the scores, you can put a different score for each of those, 0 points, 3 points, 5 points, or 0, 1, 2, however you want to adjust your points. Let's look at the lesson plans. The lesson plans are correlated straight to the particular play that you're wanting to do. Let's look at Hamlet for grades 6 through 12. And you'll notice we have 2 particular lessons to go with this play. And you have a specific goal or a specific task connected to both. So you have the objectives. The objective is to really focus on the idea of revenge here. Alternative routes for the action of the play to take, and discussing what route the students most preferred. You'll see the duration is 2 one-hour sessions. I love when you have the time already there to really help you gauge how long you're taking or how much time you can really delve into a topic. And you'll see the assessment checklist right here. That is that rubric we were talking about. But let's go to one of the plays. Let's go to Hamlet. Plays by title. And then you do see we have the 2 different Hamlets. You also have, at the very top, the number of characters. This is a really big deal if you do have a small homeschool group and you're really wanting a play to actually work very well and get performed at your home. Maybe you need something small like the City Mouse and the Country Mouse because it only has 3 parts. But if you're really wanting to look at reading drama, getting into drama and learning the different components, it's okay to have more characters. So you have an about the play section, and then you have the script for the play itself. But then you also have really fun extended learning links straight to Worldbook again. So these are links about Hamlet, Shakespeare, Denmark, any extra learning that you can use through Worldbook. But then you do have the external content to go to different websites as well. To show you the script. You can print it, you can save it, you can email the script out. That may be very helpful. Here you'll see that you can hyperlink and jump throughout the play. You can download the play. Since it's a Word document, that can be really helpful if you want to highlight, if you want to mark where a child needs to read. If you like the idea of the child being able to type in their own ideas, their own thoughts, answers about certain questions you ask them, that's really, really great too. Cast of characters, and then you'd hit next to go to the next part. And this is what it looks like with the scenes. So 3 really fun resources that can be used in secondary education are A to Z Food America, A to Z the USA, and A to Z World Culture. These are on our research databases page. You will have to type in your library card number to get to this page. A to Z Food America is so much fun. You do have your site menu right off the bat, but mostly this site is navigated through browsing. Okay. Yes, it's a cooking site, but it's so much more, and it's a celebration of America and a celebration of culture, and it's a lot of fun. You browse by region. That's a really fun way to do it. Let's say we want to look at South and Southern food. The layouts are going to be the same no matter how you do it. You'll have the menu on the left-hand side that you can kind of bounce around on. Here we have our cuisine overview. Once you've reached the end of it, you go back up here and you just go to the next thing. So this is a really fun way to learn about America, a really fun way to learn about history, but it's also a really, 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 really fun way to learn how to cook. You'll notice that when you're looking through the recipes, it'll even specify whether something is kosher, halal, vegan. It's really fun that way. You can click on the item once you've gotten your ingredients. And you have your directions, and you can click on them when you have finished that step. And of course you have your pictures as well. If you want to look at Southern breads, here you go. Let's look at the corn stick recipe. And you'll notice that it goes into the history of the dish itself. Prep time, cook time, total time, and it is vegetarian. This is just a really fun, safe place for children who are interested in learning how to cook. They can come to this website, they can find something really easy. You're not going to have a lot of extra ads, and you'll learn really fun things about food and about America while you're at it. If you wanted to go by ethnic group, Indian American cuisine, it's all just very, very yummy. And it'll go into the history of it, and as always, you have the different types of recipes. So let's say you want to go by ingredient. You can do that as well. Here you go. Let's say we pick beans. And there are all your beans. If you want to learn what to do with those lentils, you've heard lentils are good, but what are you supposed to do with them? There's information all about it. And the recipes that include lentils. This is just a quick view of A to Z Food America. I'm going to go back to the main page. A to Z, the USA, has a very similar layout. You'll have your maps, you'll have your predictable menus in the left-hand side once you've picked a topic or picked a state in this case. Very straightforward. Let's pick Colorado. What's fun is you get the current time and temperature and weather of the capital of that state that you choose. Here we are in state overview and state facts. When you finish with that, you just come right back up and pick the next thing. There's all the geographical information. And you get to pick which of these you want to focus on. This is really good for any research papers. This is also good as a tie-in if you have a child who is slightly younger who is using Freedomflix to learn about the different states. You can have the same similar layout, a similar format. You can use the lesson plan to a degree that's with the Freedomflix, and then you can mesh it into this for your older student. That on top of using the state standards can all tie nicely together. Some of these will be really good facts and icons and numbers and dates. A lot of students really like that. And it's just a really, really good place to come for that factual information as well. This is A to Z, the USA. A to Z World Culture takes the format of A to Z USA and expands it, obviously, to the world. You can click on a country in the map, or you can search or browse the alphabetical countries. just like you would have with A to Z USA. You have the current time, the weather, and the exact same layout as A to Z USA. You'll have the overview, the facts, and then you get to pick what it is that you're interested in learning. Or you can choose for your child which ones they need to focus on. This could also be used backwards as a web quest, similar to Worldbook Student. You may even use this as an enrichment for any Worldbook Student information, any Worldbook Student plans. This, however, does not have lesson plans. That is a difference between Worldbook and A to Z in these particular resources. If you desire further help in creating your homeschooling experience, you might want to go to Universal Class. Universal Class is accessible by going to our home page and clicking on the Research Databases icon. You will need to type in your library card number, and Universal Class is towards the bottom. You can sign in for a new user with your library card number. I'm going to sign into my existing account. Universal Class has some variety to it, and it gives you some freedom in deciding how interactive you want to be. This is my home page. It has my courses. Before I show you anything about the courses, though, I want to bring up the privacy differences on this site. You can interact with other people in your class. That's very important to note if you have students ever on this site. So you may want to change your profile visibility and your ability to be contacted before you do anything else. So course catalog, we have over 500 online courses, but I want to show you the homeschooling courses. Many of these courses are going to give you two options. You can actually receive continuing education unit credits for these courses. You can get a certificate, you can be graded, you can have assessments. There's a lot of things you can do with it to really make it professional for you. Do you know what you were reading and what you're learning? And then there's another option where you don't have to necessarily do all of the assessments, all of the grades. You can just get the content of the lessons of the unit, of the area of study. Let's hit ABCs of English Grammar. You'll notice there are 15 lessons, 34 exams and assignments, and it would usually take about 15 hours to finish this course. Here's a course description. And there's related courses, so if you really like it, there's some other similar ones. It says self-paced online course. Let's join. And you have your two options. You can join for the certificate. You can take as much time as you need with each lesson. You will still have assignments to submit, and you will receive grades. Or you can join the video-only course, and in this course, in this instance, you will have instant access to all the videos that go into the ABCs of English Grammar course. Universal Class may be a really helpful tool for you as you debate how you need to improve the homeschooling experience in your home. I hope you found this video useful. If you want any more information about any of these resources, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You're more than welcome to call us, email us, or comment here on this YouTube video. I really hope you have some fun as you look into these resources and that you have a wonderful school year.